Well, hi everyone, Cumberland Outdoorsman here with you again, and in today's video I'm going to show you how I process a wild turkey. Now this is not necessarily the only way to do it. You may have your way of doing it. It's different from mine. Some people pluck the whole turkey and leave the skin on so that they can, have roast turkey just like during Thanksgiving. But the way I do it, I just like to fillet the meat off of the bone, and I actually keep the thighs and the legs. A lot of people don't keep that part of a wild turkey because they say it's too tough and too stringy, but there are several recipes out there where you can utilize that meat and make delicious meals with it. So after you harvest your turkey, of course you got to check it in right away and give the state a harvest report. And also try to keep that turkey as cool as possible. Keep it in the shade, keep it out of the sun. If you have a cooler with ice, that's even better until you get it back home where you can process the turkey. So what I've got here on the table, I've got my turkey here. First of all is a container full of ice water, a couple of knives here. I've got my sharpener here. I've got a diamond stick that I use to sharpen my knives. And of course we have the turkey. And what I like to do first of all is remove the wings, okay? The wings have a lot of uses. You can make fletching out of the feathers. You can actually keep the meat and save the meat to be eaten. But you want to cut right there at the joint, right here at the joint. Separate that joint. Just a knuckle right here where it meets up with the breast. There's some very powerful muscles here because turkey's a heavy bird and they need a lot of power to be able to get airborne. Get right down through that ball socket there. And just separate it, just like that. Separate the tendon. There's your wings. You can use the bones for a wing bone turkey call, and I'll show you how I do that. But don't throw the wings away because there's a lot of good uses for them. Once again, come in here and find that joint, that socket, where it meets up with the breast. Right there. What this does, it gives you room to work a little bit more efficiently. Alright, there we have it. That wing is removed. Now obviously if you're going to mount the turkey, you don't want to do anything to it. Leave everything up to the taxidermist. Okay? Then I remove these feet here. Come in right here at the knuckle and separate that knuckle. Just like that, okay? And cut through the tendons. Remove the feet. Well, the bottom part of the legs, actually. A lot of people don't go through all this because they don't keep the drumsticks or the thighs, but I do. A lot of meat gets wasted that way every year because people throw that part away. And I don't. I utilize it. I save it. So there we have our turkey. And I'm going to preserve the fan I'm going to keep the fan, so I want to take really good care of these feathers as much as I possibly can. So what I do is I come right in here at the base of the fan and separate it from the tailbone. I want to keep all these feathers intact as much as I possibly can. So I kind of go up on the tail fan a little ways and save it. There you have it. Okay. And now for the beard. You want to preserve the beard because that's part of your display, your fan display, or what you want to show off to your friends, the size and the length of the beard. So right here at the base, I just trim it off right here. Most of the time you can just pull the beard out, but in this case I'm just going to preserve the beard the way it is here. Now what you want to do is separate these feathers right here at the breastbone until you get down to the white part of the breast. That's actually the skin. It's kind of a white skin underneath, folks. And you just want to split the skin open here. Now if you want to keep the skin intact, you can do that as well by plucking the whole bird, but I don't do it that way. Like I say, mine's not the only way. You may have a different way of doing it. Just work your hand in there and separate the skin from the meat. That bird there has been doing some fighting. That's good to know because that tells us there's more gobblers out there. We'll save those for next year. Just use your fingers, use your hand to separate the breast from the skin. Same on this side. And when we get down here, you want to open these leg joints at the hip, just like that. That way you can lay this turkey out just like I have it here. Just open that right on up, just like that. Got a huge piece of meat right here. You want to separate the crop here from the breast meat. What I do, I come right back to the middle here and I make an incision right to the bone, okay? And just work around the bone, staying close to the bone, filleting it just pretty much like you do a fish. Staying with the bone here. close to that bone. Separate it, just like I do here. Separate everything. The only thing that keeps this together with the breast meat is just a thin membrane, you know, really thin, clear membrane. Okay, and once you get the breast meat all separated like that, you have this tender, this breast meat tender, just like in a chicken, right here, and it's held on by this tendon right here. I keep it all intact, and I just put it in my ice water. Now for the other side. Once again, come around this bone right here. Stay close to the bone, just like I'm doing here. I'm going to save as much of that meat as you possibly can. Just fillet the meat right off the bones there. There's a few thin bones right here in the breast. Just take it right off of there. Separate that membrane just like you did on the other side there. Keep all the meat intact. Now get all these old feathers off of here. You can brush all that off later on before you put the meat away. But for now, just try to clean it up the best you can. Lay that on ice. Okay, now for the thighs and legs, you want to just skin right down to the meat. Come all the way in like that. Work your hand in there over this knuckle right here, this joint right here. And just skin it down. It can be a little bit tough right in here, folks. With a little bit of persistence and work, you can get it off of there. There you got the drumstick, and then beneath it is the thigh, of course. Like I say, I try to save as much of this as I possibly can. Skin all the way down to the backbone. Right here, there's a big chunk of meat that I like to save right where the base of the wing is joined to the back. Most of it's on the wing already, and I'll save that meat as well. But I just fillet it right off the bone, just like with the breast meat. You can save these pieces like this. You know, clean them up, save them. You can either fry them up, or you can make a soup with them, or a stew. And right here at the top of the thigh, there's a big chunk of meat. It's kind of an egg-shaped piece of meat that you want to save. That's probably my favorite piece of meat off a turkey. Come right in here at the base of it and fillet it right off the bone. As long as you can feel that bone under your blade, you're in good shape. That's nothing but bone right there. What I've got in my hand here is meat. Now, we're down to this joint right here, this knuckle. Just want to separate the tendons. Stay close to the meat, or to the bone here. And there you have the thigh and the drumstick. If you want to separate the drumstick from the thigh, you can feel right here where this joint is. I'll come right in here at the top of this piece of meat, come right to the joint, and pop it open just like that. And cut through this tendon right here. Pretty much separate it right there. There you got the thigh and the leg, the drumstick. This right here is really the best piece of meat on a turkey as far as I'm concerned. Everybody's crazy about the breast meat, but there's more flavor in these thighs than anywhere else on the turkey. Now, I don't know if you agree with me on that, but that's just my opinion. You know, when you put the meat in the water here, you can see where these little pieces of feather actually separate off the meat. Once I get in the kitchen, I'll clean this meat up really well and get it ready for the freezer. Now, once again, you want to come right up here above the top part of this thigh and come in with the tip of your knife and just fillet that meat right off the bone. And follow this bone line right here. Just open that joint up just like I just did when you get down to it. There you have it. There's the thigh and the drumstick on the other side. I'm going to go ahead and separate it too. Just follow this line right up here. And just pop it open like that. There we have the drumstick and the thigh. And pretty much all that's left here is nothing but bone here, you know. There's not any meat left. Okay, folks, the only thing you really have left other than this bone carcass is the neck, but I don't keep the neck because usually it's so shot up from where you harvested the turkey that it's not worth saving. Well, there you have it, folks. After harvesting your turkey, you want to clean it and get it processed the way I did if you want to save as much meat as possible. Like I say, most hunters, they just fillet the breast meat out and throw the rest away, but I don't do that. I save as much of that bird as I possibly can. And I've got some recipes that I'm going to share with you to show you that that meat is definitely worth saving. So I hope that you learned something from this video. Some of the parts are a little bit tough to get through, but you just have to learn by doing a lot of this stuff yourself, you know. But this is sort of a rough guide to kind of help you out. That way you at least have an idea of what to do with your turkey right away after you harvest it. But anyway, thanks again for watching. I really appreciate you coming here and watching my channel. I always try to relay a little bit of useful information for you. And until next time, remember, if you like to go hunting, fishing, camping, shooting, hiking, whatever it may be, I hope you enjoy it as much as I do. And also remember, hit that like button, smash that bell icon, and subscribe. That way you'll know when more videos like this will be coming your way. So anyway, we'll see you next time, folks. Stay safe, take care of yourselves, and enjoy the great outdoors.